Justin fans are laughing to the bank. An outcome that I don't think anyone would have predicted at the beginning of the fight, because I also thought that Justin was going to lose. However, in my last review, I did predict this outcome, mainly because I suspected we had seen everything Sakigake could do, and I was right when it came to that. But I won't give myself too much credit, because the people that put faith in Justin from day one, those guys probably deserve the props. They deserve their stocks to go up when they believed in my man when no one else did. But let's actually talk about the specifics in this chapter that is called Different Strengths, and it starts off exactly where we left off in the last chapter, with Saki delivering the scorpion kick to Justin, and we get to hear some inner thoughts from Sakigake here, where he talks about the different types of strengths that people have or develop. One is to actually make themselves bigger, to put on some more muscle. Another way is to train certain body parts to become stronger, similar to, like, let's say Kuroki Gensai and the Devil Lance. And though both those methods are good for increasing your strength or developing your strength, Sakigake doesn't find any flair in them, and rather wants to defeat people beautifully, or he wants a beautiful strength to be specific. Now, I was a bit too harsh in my last review when I talked about Sakigake, because I thought he looked down on other types of martial arts. That's not necessarily the case. He just elevates his way of fighting, the strength of beauty, I guess, or strength that also accomplishes his goal for being beautiful or looking beautiful as well. He sort of thinks of it as the ultimate rationality, and we get to see a few cool panels of Sakigake doing his showing off in his head. I'm assuming there's one scene where he's beaten up a lot of people, was probably when he was affiliated in some gang wars or something like that. But we then transition back from that inner monologue to the fight, and everyone is stunned at this point because Justin is going down here. At least that's how it seems. My man is still conscious, although that hit was definitely painful. He's bleeding, and almost as if he heard Justin's monologue, he doesn't approve of the message that Sakigake has of having strength that is also, let's say, beautiful, and goes in to grab Sakigake, which puts him in a really bad situation, because up until this point, Sakigake has been able to avoid this situation for the most part. In fact, the scorpion kick was one of the best ways he could avoid this type of situation, but that hasn't worked. And Justin has now grabbed him, and both Yamashita and Akiyama are stunned because they realize this is really bad news for Sakigake, and Sakigake, he is panicking in this position, and he's even wondering how Justin even managed to endure such a powerful kick, to which we get an answer from Okubo. And Okubo says, of course, he trained Justin himself, and he vouches for his neck strength. In fact, with the help of his neck and his tiptoes, he's able to carry 5 heavyweight martial artists on his body. The position, I'm gonna have to put it on the screen. This is a wild position, man. The fact that Justin is able to do this is absolutely wild. And so his endurance or his neck strength might have actually played a role, since Sakigake and his scorpion kick connected with his head. But Sakigake is still panicking at this point, trying to get out of that situation. And Okubo's like, well, better luck next time, Sakigake, because you're basically finished at this point. And Justin, he does a mega, and I mean a mega, Kitagawa suplex, and this suplex shakes the whole arena. and even creates shock waves as well. Again, this is something you would this only fits in a Baki manga. That's all I'm gonna say. But with a suplex that powerful, it's over for Justin. There's really nothing, he can't come back from that. And Justin is declared the winner. Okubo was right. Sakigake was cooked the moment Justin grabbed him, because Justin seems to be incredibly powerful. That suplex is a feat that a lot of power scalers might reference for scaling the Kengan verse. But with just that one move, Sakigake has won, saying, "How do you like them apples?" With him, of course, being excited about his win, and Yamashita saying he can't believe how much talent Justin has. Because remember, he's new or relatively new to this scene, and so he has a lot of room for growth here and may be the dark horse of this competition. I know, a lot of hype for Justin, but he deserves it at this point. But Canada and Okubo are a little bit relieved, especially Canada, that he managed to make it, with Okubo also being relieved as well, not only because Justin won, but Justin winning while not showing two of his aces. So we haven't even seen everything Justin could do, obviously, but the fact that he has two things that are quite important pieces in his arsenal that no one has seen yet is going to be quite interesting for his next fight against Gao Lang. But also, this is actually quite a good outcome for him. Okubo even calls him lucky. Sakigake really didn't see or predict that Justin was gonna have such incredibly strong neck strength. And not only that, with Justin now proceeding to the finals, he is also a bad matchup for Gao Lang. So Gao Lang is having double trouble here. First it was Jurata, which was incredibly close for him, but now it's Justin, where he's going more or less blind at this point. But Sakigake is taken off of the stage to the loser's hospital or care zone, and that is the end of the chapter. Overall, my thoughts on this fight was that it's not as good as Gao Lang vs Jurata, that's for sure. I wouldn't blame people if they say this fight was actually quite weak. Personally, I think it was good, but it's probably not going to be comparable to all the other fights in this tournament. I think this is probably the worst it could get in this tournament, especially looking at the future of this tournament, because next is going to probably be Agito versus Julius, and then we're gonna have Lo Long versus, oh man, I forgot his name, but he is the Doomsday Messenger. That's all I remember about him. And so all the upcoming fights are looking good for round 1, and round 2 is also potentially looking incredibly good. So yeah, I thought the fight was pretty good. Not as good as probably every other fight in this tournament. I think this is probably going to be the worst of the batch, but a good fight nevertheless. Anyways, don't forget to like and sub, and until next time, take it easy.